I feel fucking cheated because I've been fucking guys because I thought that it was gonna be less work for me to have to do on these holidays. But now my little fucking brother told me that his girl planned fucking romantic getaways. So I might be switching over to the Cuda Cat and not the Butcher Cat real soon because clearly women are holding it down.
Yep.
Oh well, I mean, win some, lose some. But I was thinking about this recently, and then someone posed a question on me once again, brilliant guy, and was just like, what's the difference between a nice guy and a romantic guy? And then I thought about it, like Diego said, romantic is cheesy to some people. I'm not the Grinch who stole Valentine's Day, but typically for Christmas, you write a wish list of what you want for Christmas. So I started like pondering, well, damn, if you had the like Valentine guide in front of you, what would you want? And it's funny because the way I described what I want was a nice guy, was a romantic guy. But if I had to choose between the two, which one would I want more? But more importantly, if you want to know the difference between a romantic guy and a nice guy and which one we need to be fucking with in the year 22, this is the episode for you. It's not a right or wrong answer. Some people prefer black, some people prefer white, some people prefer tall, some people prefer short, some people prefer romantic, and some prefer nice. I think though, I want to spend a little time, since timelines are being flooded with couples and vlogs on getaways and all that bullshit, for my people that are sitting by themselves and they got two people they fucking with and want to know, dang, which one? So let's start off with Mr. Nice Guy. I think there's a lot of pros when it comes to having somebody that just is nice. I think in the day and age we live in, whether you are platonic, romantic, situational, or transactional, I think just being around nice people is just where it's at now. And I think that we all appreciate that. But there is a thin line between romance and just being kind and niceness. And I want to highlight that. So let's break it down. Mr. Nice Guy, let's talk about the nice guy. To me, in my head, that I've breaking down that term to is nice. This is going to be a gentleman. This is going to be someone who likes you and acts upon that. This is going to be someone who adores you and takes you out. You have fun and a good time and all of those things. This is the nice guy. Now, I feel like nice guys are beneficial for certain reasons and certain things and situations. Based upon you as an individual, Mr. Nice Guy works for a lot of people who are mean. Ultimately, I think that's the yin and the yang situation. If you have a mean streak in you, the nice guy is more appealing to you, and you're thrown off by that. You don't necessarily know his actions because it's something so foreign to you. However, you got people like me that nice guys don't necessarily do it. Nice guys, to me, I will push over. I will take control of. I don't want you stopping trying to help every fucking body on the side of the road. I don't want you to be Captain Save-A-Ho. The back of my head, not the end of the day, but the back of my head, are you gonna be that nice when someone likes you and you have to tell them that you are involved? Like, that's what goes in the back of my head. Now, that could be trauma. It could be insecurity. It could be a number of things. But that's why I like the symptoms of a nice guy, but not necessarily need a nice guy. Another thing, nice guys remind me of when I moved to New York. When I moved to New York, people slept on me. People sleep on me all the time, but they really slept on me in New York. And that was because they judged me based upon my accent. And they thought that, oh, this is a cat from the South who ain't on game, don't know shit, and coming up here trying to live our life. But what they didn't know is I'm from the South, but I'm from the New York of the South. So I'm all with the shits. So in Atlanta, a lot of people don't know this. We run the same game that all up bigger major cities run. It's just at a slower pace, which is harder because we can distract you because it is a slower pace. Nice guys are often looked at that way, but people don't know this about nice guys. Nice guys also is with the shits. Typically, a nice guy is a charming guy, or a nice woman is a charming woman. So guess what? She's got other people. So if you don't act the way she wants or he wants, or if you don't give the reaction that they want, they got other people to go to. If we look on the other side, we got a romantic guy. My ideal version of a romantic guy is a guy that is nice. They're a gentleman. They like you. They get into you. They give you everything that you want, but they're more thoughtful. Prime example. They're a gentleman. They like you. They pay attention and they listen to everything that you say. That's the difference though. Whereas a nice guy is going to listen to what you like and use it forward. A romantic person is going to listen to what you like, put it in their back pocket, and they're going to pull it out at a later time for you. For the kids in the back that need help, I'm going to break it down for you even more. Valentine's Day. Mr. Nice Guy is going to do some shit like, if you tell them you like chocolate, they're going to bring you a box of chocolates.
Your favorite chocolate.
Your favorite chocolates, right? So they'll bring that box to you and think they're doing something. A romantic guy, I'm putting y'all on game. Listen. A romantic guy is going to bring you a box of chocolate, but only your favorite chocolate pieces in that box. Difference. Huge difference.
Or a teddy bear that, you know, maybe you brought up. I like dolphins. And he's like,
Yeah.
Dolphin and chocolate and roses.
There you go.
Not too much, but they will do more than the average guy would do.
Exactly. They want you to know that they like you, and they want you to know that they understand you. They're getting to know you, and they're investing in you.
And they want you to feel
a nice guy, not necessarily. They just want you to know they like you. Okay? Yeah, I like you. It is what it is.
I listen to you.
I listen to you. Damn it. When we gonna get to it though? A romantic guy is also slow moving. Romantic guy ain't gonna go straight to it. Nice guys, they give you that approach, but they want to know at the end of the day, when is the do gonna happen? And that is all it is. I'm being nice to you all the way to the point till I know it's gonna happen, and then we'll go from there. Whereas a romantic person isn't in for that rush. They're getting the thrill out of getting to know you. They're getting the thrill out of showing you that they're getting to know you. They're getting the thrill out of showing you that they know you more than you know yourself. And that's where it becomes a little different. The number one question that comes to mind is, well, damn it, Rashad, which one do you want? Or damn it, which one would you prefer? Mr. Nice Guy or Mr. Romantic Guy? I'm gonna have to say that it depends on where you are in your journey being by yourself. And this is when you hear that term that I'm single and I'm dating myself comes into play. Because if you're not single and dating yourself with a purpose, then I don't know what the fuck you're doing. You're wasting your time. Because if you date with the purpose, if you're single with the purpose, you're able to distinguish the difference between these two kind of guys or women. I personally feel like if you are at a point in your life where you are freshly single, or you're at a point in your life where you're trying to figure out what you are into or what you're looking for, go for Mr. Nice Guy. There's no long-term pressure behind it or success rate behind it. It's kind of present. You're going to get somebody that listens to you. You're going to get somebody that regurgitates what you say and give you a translation of your own self. And then you're going to give you somebody that caters to you and is a gentleman to you and kind of get your foot wet into the dating game or getting to know people. Versus if you are freshly single and you get straight into a romantic guy, they're gonna move a little slow, so you're gonna eventually feel like, well, damn, they're not even into me. Or you're gonna get to a point where they might want to go a little bit further than what you're ready for at that time. But you gotta be honest with yourself that you ready or that you're not ready. Because if you lead on, then you just wasting every fucking body time in the situation. Also, what are you ready for? A lot of people don't acknowledge what they're really ready for. And a lot comes to romantic partners, romantic getaways, romantic actions. Because if you don't reciprocate, then what? So are you ready, if you are dating a romantic person, to give them the reciprocation that they're looking for so that they get the satisfaction out of them being romantic that they get from being romantic? Or do you just accept it and leave them high and dry and confused whether upon you're liking what they're giving you or not? That's what I say when it comes to romance. That's what I say when it comes to Mr. Nice Guy. I feel like Mr. Nice Guy is deadly, because that niceness can throw you all the way off your game. Have you always been Mr. Romantic, or have you ever been once Mr. Nice Guy?
No, I've always been the romantic. Like the gentleman type stuff and like pay attention to stuff. I've always been that guy. So yeah, I've always been that way. A lot of people can't handle the romantic. I've been romantic for a very long time, and I was just actually telling her that like a lot of women would like say like it would make me feel like I was doing too much because it's not been done before to them, and so they're like, I'm not used to this. This is weird. And it could be just nice gestures. Like, I remember I would just go do just anything simple, and it wasn't over the top like I was clingy or anything like that, but I was really into the person, so I knew what they liked. I knew a lot of stuff about them, and I would do little gestures, and they were like, it would freak them out, and then they would run away. So now I just feel like people really, I would say probably a nice guy will win, because most people can't handle romantic because they feel like it's just too much.
Romantic is based off the situation.
A romantic between an established couple is great. Romantic with a single person to a single person, it can be intimidating. Now they feel they got a match. What's going on here?
Oh, but do they? Do you feel that? Do you feel like
I'm not a romantic guy.
looking outside in though, if you seen me interacting with somebody that was romantic, and I came to you and I was like, bro, this nigga sent me another fucking box of flowers and another fucking box of chocolate again and got another getaway, and now I'm just like, I don't know if it's like,
That's a lot though. That's a lot.
but I'm just saying,
No, he made it.
But I know what you're saying.
That's a good
Yeah.
point.
because it's
I see-
consistent and showing that this romance is consistent. Because some
Yes.
motherfuckers will be romantic
cut it
and
off.
then cut that shit off.
See, that's the thing. For me, romantic is about an opportunity. Being nice is a lifestyle.
That's true. That's who that person is.
Nice is when you're not trying and you don't know nobody's watching.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing about a nice guy. Because when a person that's quote unquote nice guy listening because they want this or that, that's a user. That's not a nice guy.
That's true.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
A nice guy is a lifestyle. The opportunity is more. It's always. But a romantic is based off a situation and opportunity. And you don't know if it's genuine or not. You don't know if it's genuine or not. Because for a person that's nice, if they're not romantic, now they're uncomfortable, they're out of pocket, and it's gonna show to be disingenuous.
Now that you say that they only know how to play the game as a nice guy, but now they wonder why the spaghetti doesn't stick on the walls and they want to have something last longer. Do you think that's the turning point for the nice guy to turn into Mr. Romantic? And do you think if they make that change, they'll see a difference in the longevity of their connections that they have?
Right. If they make the change from acting nice to just being nice, it's gonna be better.
Yeah, acting and being is two different. It's so
People
different.
act nice
yeah.
all the time.
Yeah,
But they don't mean they nice.
exactly.
I
That is
agree.
it could be a front. It's an act.
So, right.
Mm-hmm.
How many times have you heard about a famous person? Oh, this real nice guy. Then you hear stories from behind the scenes.
Yeah.
They butthole.
Yeah.
You see, a nice guy is when they don't know they're being watched.
They don't try. They don't have to try.
They don't have.
I think
It's their lifestyle.
It's what they do. They've been doing this forever. So yeah.
I think what I'm getting at though is, does every romantic guy have to go through the phase of being Mr. Nice Guy? Do you think people become romantic through being Mr. Nice Guy because they realize that it's another level to it?
No, I think they're being romantic because they got something they're trying to get.
Yeah, that too. And that goes for women too. It ain't just men.
Yeah, women.
There's a lot of women
Right.
who would whine and dine a dude just to get what they want,
Yeah.
and then it'll fizzle out and be like, "Well, what happened?" Because it wasn't genuine. It was just, what she was trying
Because
to get. At that moment.
trueness, it don't need a date. It
Yeah.
don't need an occasion.
Yeah.
It's just because.
Yeah. It's funny because when the question was posed to me, I really had to look at it and think about it, because I get asked that a lot. Do I like romance? Like, am I a romantic guy? And I'm always like, no, not really. But I'm at a point now in my singleness journey that I'm leaning towards Mr. Romance, because if you listen to any of the previous podcasts, I always say like romantic getaways and like shit like that, weekend getaways, shit like that is my definition of like a date. So I think now I lean towards Mr. Romantic. However, I was under the impression that was across the board. Mr. Nice Guy did that too. And Mr. Romantic did that. I found out Mr. Nice Guy does that, but there's no longevity behind it. Once that ends, or once that one romantic moment happens, it stops. Versus Mr. Romance is already thinking about, while we're doing that one romantic act, they're already thinking about the next one because they want to continue this train and keep this train going. And it took me a minute to kind of gasp that concept and realize that, damn, bitch, that's number 2. First you thought you weren't affectionate, you find that shit out. Then you find out, damn it, you don't necessarily like Mr. Nice Guy. You really like Mr. Kind. I like nice people, but Mr. Romantic is where it's at.
So if you got a romantic guy, but in between romantic acts, he's an asshole.
I recently dealt with that. And you know what? I'm glad you brought that up, because I was thinking about this today at the gym. I could not figure it out. Oh, and it was recent. I couldn't figure him out. He was extremely romantic. Romantic in the sense of, like, he knew my days off. Like, the moment I got off, it was like, you're gonna be with me, we're gonna do this, wake up every morning, breakfast, like the whole spread, outings, things to do, fun things to do, instead of like just going to some ratchet ass place and breaking bread that way. It was always well thought out shit. But he kept confessing to me that people thought he was mean. And I'm a believer. When someone tell you something about them, believe it. So I was always sticking in my back of my head, and I know one particular time he was like, yeah, I went to this event and they said that I was evil and this, that, and the third. And if you met him, you would be like this is the nicest guy ever. However, he has mean ass actions, and here's the deadly part. I don't think he realizes that they're mean ass action. I think he just thinks that he's just doing him. But it's like, once you've been Mr. Romantic and once you've invested so much, you can't just go and do some shit in left field. I would expect Mr. Nice Guy to do some shit like that, but Mr. Nice Guy ain't gonna give me the consistency of romantic activities that you've been giving me. So the one time you do some shit that is altered from your normal behavior, is magnified. And now I don't even think his intent was to be like malicious or cold heart or anything of that nature. But now that I look back at it, I think he is the meanest person there is.
So what if it was intentional to be cold hearted, but he was real bad? He winded down you.
Shame on me.
He made you feel this. He gave you that euphoria for a nice dinner, movie, night on the lake, this, that, another. And he walked past somebody and treat him like dog poop. Purposely.
Turn off. That's it.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm done.
So, but yeah, you got a kind person who treat everybody with respect. Gonna be respectful to your parents, to your this. But you may have to remind him about a fine dinner. You may have to remind him about a movie night. But yet he goes and respectful, make sure you straight.
Ooh.
You see what I'm saying? But when it comes to the romantic part, he don't have that gene. Cause to me, the difference between a kind guy and a romantic guy, one gonna remember a certain thing, one you have to remind him. So, do you lose out just because I have to remind him?
You're gonna have to remind both of them though, because they both lack in different areas.
Yeah, but you said a romantic guy, while he doing his act, he's already thinking about the next.
Mm-hmm.
So you may not have to remind him, but that kind guy, into the movie.
You
may have to remind, you know what, baby, you're right. Let's go and do this. That's that kind guy.
You got a point there. And I think that that goes back to the golden rule. Nobody's perfect. I can work with you if you are already a nice person. Because at the end of the day, I've realized that I've kind of adapted a mindset of doing it on my own anyway. So I give myself those romantic getaways. I give myself those romantic moments. One thing I just can't tolerate is somebody who is just mean. I can come off as a cold person. I can come off as mean, and I'm okay with that. I don't want my counterpart to be that way. I want my counterpart to bring out it in me even more, but while it's coming out of me, I want them to represent that aspect of who I am, because you always know somebody's with someone for a reason.
And keep in mind, I'm not, for the record, I'm not saying that romantic people are mean, but I'm saying...
Oh, I get that, yeah. Yeah.
Like for me, my wife, she planned the cruise. I like cruise. I probably would have never planned it, but I'm so glad she did it. It was romantic. It was fun. We had a great time, and I'm glad she did it. But I just didn't do it. But at the same time, like she at work my off day, I like to go hang out with her grandmama, great grandma, because I just, I like family.
Yeah.
I like being accepted in the family.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody that's her family is my family. And I tend to want to put my life on the line for that family. Because but I'm not just that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you ain't gonna just get walked over.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But the romantic side, it's just not my forte. That's just not my strong suit. And that's why I like knowing that I'm not saying, I know within myself, I don't hit everything on every cylinder, so I just like to hear different perspectives. So I ask, well,
No, it's a good question. It's a good question, because I think people who are single need to or even if you are in a relationship, I think you need to distinguish what you are, because I think those are the little small things that you can do to, knowing that, for instance, a nice guy, you know that you listen to things, you know you pay attention to things, you know that you're a nice being. Hey, take it a step further. Incorporate a little romance in your game, or vice versa. The romantic guy.
It's definitely good to mix the both.
Yeah, I think
that's
it's
more
balanced.
because that's the more of the combination. As we've been talking about it, that's more of me. It's a combination of both, but it all started from being nice, and then you develop into that. But it's a combination of both, because it is. Sometimes for some people that I do see, it can be an act.
Yeah.
And it's just because I want to get there. It's just like when you go on Facebook and Instagram, and when people get in relationships that document every single thing they do, and they put on this front that everything is so happy, and behind closed doors is bullshit.
And then out of nowhere, you see them delete all the pictures of them
and
together.
then they'll get married quick, all that, and they doing
Hell
it.
yeah.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
It happens all the time. So it's a little bit of both. But it comes with time, though. Everything comes with
What scares
time.
me with that, though, is people see that on social media, and then I feel like they break their necks to go get it, and then it's like that is not how this works.
And then a relationship is between two people, and everybody's relationship is different. So outside what they may think is crazy because y'all do what y'all do, they may think it's crazy. But if y'all two agree on it, because me and Reggie talk about this, if y'all two agree on it and it works for y'all, then let it be. It might not be, the roles may be reversed, whatever the case may be, but if it works for y'all two and y'all are happy, why tell it? Why invite people into it? Whatever. Why do that? Because you're gonna mess it up. They're not gonna understand you too.
Right.
Just like everybody in the world never understands you, me, him, her. They're not gonna understand why y'all two click, and it's not meant for them to understand that either.
No, I agree 100% with that. I want to say though, if you can't walk away with nothing else, and if you need help figuring it out, because this can get tricky, especially when you dating. Because you date and then you always think about the mistakes that you made in the past, or you think about people that you've dated in the past, and you always want to try to date somebody new or
You gotta
different
let
type.
that shit go too.
You gotta let it go.
Let that shit go. 'Cause
You
that's not
can't
fair.
take dating personal.
That is not fair to the next person. If you dealing with somebody and you still thinking about everything else from years ago or whatever, that's not fair to this new person, because they're coming to you like, hey, I'm ready. I've been through stuff too, but I'm ready to be with you. You need to come with that same. That's not fair. I hate when people do that. That's
Yeah,
not
a lot of
fair at
people
all.
date and try to take it shit personal. It's like, you can't take the shit personal. Like, it ain't about that. Like, let that motherfucker go and go get some. It's not. Mr. Nice Guy is always gonna be fun. It's fun, but I want you to understand it's deadly, because it's short-lived. That motherfucker ain't gonna give you chances are, I'm not gonna say never, because sometimes they do fall for you, but usually Mr. Nice Person or Miss Nice Person is always gonna be fun and short. Romantic is gonna be a little boring, a little longer, but when it hit, it's gonna hit, and it's gonna be worth the wait. So for those that are out Valentine's Day feeling some kind of way, get your nice guy, get you a nice woman, get you a romantic one. It don't matter. Figure it out. But while you enjoying it and while you being present in that situation, please, 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 please make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into, because at the end of the day, it's all about how you want to go forward and handle it. Anything else, D?
Well, I want to close it out, and I want to say, you know, we on YouTube and all that, but if you are single on Valentine's Day and you find somebody else who's single, just hang out. Y'all can sit there and laugh at everybody that's in Valentine's Day jokes. Just hang out, because you never know, y'all two can click.
Yeah.
But just hang out. Find somebody. Don't be like, hey, you just say you want to be my Valentine's. I know you single. I don't want I don't want nothing else. But let's just hang out.
Yeah.
Just hang out, and y'all two just click and see what goes on. Just laugh about everybody else.
Don't send mixed signals. So that's all I got to say.
Respect the difference.
Respect the difference.
You don't always have to agree. You may not always you might not always understand, but respect the difference. You can move forward.
That's it. Nice guy, nice woman, romantic guy, romantic woman, respect the difference. That's all that matters. This is Soul Esteem.